Welcome to Deck Talk. Deck Talk is a weekly educational show. I swear, it's educational. Where we bring on deck creators, pro players, commentators, pretty much anybody who's trying to make Hearthstone the #1 esport in the world. This week we got a special guest. He is a returning guest. He's one of my favorite guests. He is also the man voted most desirable to have in a bar fight. The one, the only, the Swedish juggernaut, Darkwonyx. Hi, Dark.
Yo, yo.
All
Glad
right.
to be back.
All right. Yeah, I love having you here. We bring on deck creators, pro players. Might help if I muted my own stream, though. All right, there we go. Live shit happens. Okay, so you've been doing really good. We've been seeing a lot of new stuff coming out since GVG, and you brought something quite interesting to the game recently. I know you laddered with it quite a bit, and you also kind of like gave it off to ECOP or something. I'm not entirely sure about this, but you have this mid-range Warlock deck that a lot of people are talking about. It's really, really interesting. So I'm just going to bring it up right now so people can see it. And why don't you tell us a little bit about this deck? Because it's a really interesting deck. I think it's really fucking cool.
Basically, the story about it is, if you remember my last Warlock deck I made for the ESL tournament, the OTK Warlock deck, I kind of grew a fan of some of the combo cards in the deck, basically like Mistress of Pain and Demon Heart and Implosions. I found are really good cards.
They are.
So in some cases of the games, I realized that I don't always need the OTK potential to win the game, and since everyone knows about OTK potential now, it's not as strong as it used to be before, because they find a way to play around it, or you just have to like search 30 cards to win the game. So I tried to make a control Warlock deck with the same concept, but instead of the OTK combo, you just remove them for some more control cards, and they won't expect anything coming with this deck usually.
Oh yeah.
And it worked really well because, like when I was playing this deck, the ladder was mainly full of, what was it, like hunters and druids at some parts. Not druids actually, hunters and warriors and something else. It was like the biggest counter to this deck is basically rogue and druid. That's why I didn't play it in the tournament myself later on when I wanted to introduce this deck in the first place. And I know ECOP wanted like to try out a new Warlock deck, so I showed him my deck as well and said like, yeah, you can play it, don't worry. So that's how it got popular first.
See, that's what I love seeing, competitors, sharing with each other, things that they're messing with and all that. And some people like it, and that's cool. It's a really good community for that.
Yeah, I usually make a weird deck list, and somehow they work in a way. It's what I get like.
And let us not forget that every single one of your deck lists has a number attached to it, either 0.5, 1.0, 2.0. There's always a point in there.
Yeah, usually I only pointed. I think I pointed this deck and maybe the Paladin deck El Diablo that I made, because it was the same concept. I just like changed some cards because they got outdated, so I had to like update the deck list itself, because I can't give it the same exact name as the previous one, because then my previous one will be completely garbage, which it still isn't. I think it's still usable. In some meta games, it can still be used.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we featured what was it, the El Diablo 0.5 on the show before.
Yeah, I think so. El Diablo 0.5 and Brokeback Mountain Giant or Brokeback Giant.
Which I had to change the name of because, well, the people at Hearthstone said no.
Oh my god. Haters.
Yeah. Well, they allow me to get away with a lot of shenanigans, so occasionally I have to bend. That's all there is to that.
Oh yeah.
But I love those guys.
I was gonna play this deck myself during the tournament though, but I realized that after the Undertaker nerf, rogues and druids became one of the most popular classes, and since this deck is basically weak against those classes, I prefer not to bring it. I would otherwise.
Well, I don't know, man. ECOP played it really well in the tournament. We saw this thing shine so well, and when I saw this thing, I'm going, Oh, I'm glad I'm gonna get my hands on this deck list because I definitely gotta see it because I was judging that tournament
Yeah.
and just watching this, I was like, wow, that's so much AOE. That's so much. And in practice, when playing it on the ladder, I discovered there's one problem with it. Yes, you have all this AoE, but half of it hurts you, and when you're facing up against Mech Mage, it's so annoying. So hopefully you'll be able to give us a little bit of insight on Mech Mage and how this is going to really work here.
Yeah,
So,
we'll see about that.
all right. So I think we should get to this fun little portion where I basically throw you to the wolves. So why don't you go ahead and queue up a game for us? And of
Yeah,
course, we
sure.
will be spectating.
Let's do this. So I'm rank 4 right now.
Yes.
Haven't played that much to get legend, but
Oh, it's only
it's
like
mainly
6
mech
days in.
mages and face hunters nowadays.
Yeah, that's yeah. Oh, let's nerf Undertaker. That should curve hunters, right? No. They're just
I
gonna
wouldn't
get more
say like,
aggro.
yeah, I don't really know, but because face hunter is kind of easy to counter if you have the right deck for it, while the other hunter was so easy to snowball from.
Oh yeah.
So I think face hunter is still fine because you can counter it pretty easily. Just if you don't counter it, you're pretty much screwed.
Pretty
That's
much.
about it.
All
Pretty
right.
much screwed.
Okay, so you're in a game. Let's go and spectate.
Yeah, sure. Can you see my hand yet?
Uh, I see you're going up against a Golden Paladin, which yes, I can. All right,
Okay.
so we got Twilight Drakes, Mortal Coil, Zombie Chow.
I
That's
kind of
actually
want to keep my whole hand.
you know, from playing this deck, I have to agree with you on this because Zombie Chow is great, Mortal Coil is great, and of course, turn 4ing a Twilight Drake gives you so many options.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a pretty good hand in right now. We have a Hellfire in case he goes full Quartermaster on us.
Mm-hmm.
We have Twilight Drake for turn 4.
Yeah.
And Mortal Coil is just really good against Paladins in general. So there's a shield bot.
Big shocker there.
So here, he just uses coin, which is pretty good for us because he can't coin out a muster for battle gun. So he just has to play a knife juggle next turn or another minibot. So we can either kill this guy by mortal coiling it and trading. But I think I want to draw a card here.
Mm. You know, it might
Because
also help if I hit the right button for people.
Oh.
My apologies, everybody. Live production sometimes screws up.
So I always want to tap with this deck right now. And I don't want to trade my shield for that guy yet, because he might play a knife juggler or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather keep killing the knife juggler instead of letting the minibot kill the zombie chow. Okay. So here, first I want to coil the 1/1.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a free card draw and we might get something useful for 2 mana. Now I'm actually thinking if I want to... He's turn 3 next turn, so he will most likely play a muster. So I don't know if I want to mistress here. I actually think I do want to mistress.
Well, even if he musters for battle, you're still in a good position, so...
Yeah, that's for sure. I want to go face here actually first. Because I will attack face anyway. Just eliminating my options one by one.
Right.
So it's tapping or playing mistress.
I think mistress is a better play, though.
I actually think Twilight Drake is a better play because I might want to Hellfire next turn if he plays muster.
Good point.
That's how I see it. And I want the Twilight to be even bigger. Because the mistress we can play later anyway. Mistress won't hurt us that much.
Okay. Good logic. See, this is why I probably screwed up playing this deck. I would have gone a different route.
I guess they both work out. It's just I want the Twilight Drake to be as big as possible because it will have 2 less health if we play the Mistress first. So I want him to be as big as possible, so he has to use some kind of removal for it, because otherwise he might just play a True Silver and smack it down, and then we have no gas.
Right.
So I want it to be as big as possible right now.
And a golden KT. Do you have all gold cards?
Almost. I always when I get a golden card, I just disenchant the normal one. So here we are, and
So
we're gonna kill that
many
first,
possibilities.
and play a Twilight Break. We could also tap and play Mistress, which isn't too bad, because we get even more card draws. But I'm expecting an owl here.
Right. That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And we still might see it. Yep.
Yeah. And if he juggles this, okay, that's pretty bad for us. But we're still in the game.
Well, I mean, you have Implosion. But
Yeah, we also have Hellfire. I think I'd rather Hellfire here, because we have so many AoE removals. So if we Hellfire, he will probably play a Muster next turn, because he thought like, oh no, like he just Hellfired, what a waste.
So many possibilities.
But that's just a bait. We could also play Sludge Belcher.
Sludge Belcher is a good defensive play, yeah.
It's a good defensive play. The only problem is if he plays True Silver and kills it with the 1/1 and True Silver and with the Knife Juggler, we're in the same position as we were before, but he has a True Silver more than us.
Right, so that's not good either way. I think you have to go with the Hellfire.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Hellfire, because he is the one that struggles with the gas in this fight right now. He is the one that has less card draws than we do, and if we keep removing all his options, he will just run out of cards eventually. So we just gotta live and clear the board as well as we can. I don't think this deck runs more than one owl if he plays the Shredder version.
Yes, I believe you are correct.
So here oh, my voice crackling. I think I want to tap here and play Twilight Drake. Keep up with the gas, because we have some heal now. We have heal pots and Mistress later on. Because now we forced him to play more minions. He can play either into a Hellfire, or we can just play Sludge Belcher next turn. We want the Mistress to be behind the Sludge Belcher, so in case
always. I found that out the hard way.
Okay, so he attacks there. I have a feeling I want to Sludge Belcher. He might Black Knight though.
But still, Black Knight still isn't that bad per se.
It's not that bad, to be honest.
It's not that great either.
That's true. There might be another Hellfire turn. And I can also Implosion. That kind of baits out the Consecration if he has it.
That is true. It would definitely bait that.
So I'm just gonna play a Sludge Belcher here and a Mistress of Pain. And kill his 1/1. Because now, like, his only good option here is basically Black Knight. True Silver won't do much. He still trades pretty decently.
Right.
Consecration won't do much neither.
Dr. Boom is really not an option here.
It's an option, but we get a really nice trade. I don't think he will actually trade if he plays Dr. Boom.
Right.
He's most likely gonna pass. And then we can get killed to sad value.
Exactly. I'm looking at your hand going, yeah, this could be fun.
So maybe Consecration here then. Because
Well, we were slightly wrong. There are 2 Iron Beaks in the deck.
There might be 3. We don't know yet. This looks like a pretty clean Hellfire turn to me.
Yeah.
I could also be Jason Shadow Flame, but I kind of want to save that for Dr. Boom.
I think
this deck runs it.
Yes, I think you're gonna have to Hellfire, and then probably Implosion whatever's left off the Shredder.
I don't think I want Implosion because that plays right into Consecration.
Yeah.
My guys will have 1 health. So I think I'm just going to. I could also play Kel'Thuzad and trade, but it's not the most fun play.
No, it's not. I mean,
I'm just gonna Hellfire here.
You would get back your Twilight Drake, but
Look at that, Mr. Payne. Well, that's actually not that good for us because he will start to draw cards. I want to tap here, I think.
Alright.
Yeah. Oh, another Mistress, that's great for us.
Now
Because
you
now we
need
can
that.
consecrate.
Now you need that 1/5 mana spell, and you're golden.
I kinda want to hit that twice. I think I will. Hitting his face here, right, won't really matter. Because he's starting to run out of gas.
Right.
So I just want to kill that guy. He can kill like Cogmaster or something. Oh, he's gonna play another muster because he attacked first with the dagger. So here's the second muster. That's great that that's actually out of the way. Because we can Shadow Flame and clear the whole board.
You can also heal. You can heal yourself, Shadow Flame. Oh, wait a minute.
I could do that too. I'm thinking if I want to. Oh. I kind of want to Shadow Flame a guy with 1 health though, because I don't really need to Shadow Flame the heal bot.
So many
I don't think I want the mind control tech here either, because I don't get much value from it. I get like a 1/1.
Very true. But if you got the Pagel, hey, you wouldn't have to tap.
We could actually do a clutch play here.
Okay.
We could mind control tech. We're most likely gonna steal a 1/1. We can Shadow Flame the 1/1 we steal, trade Twilight Drake into Knife Juggler, and kill the Pagel with the Mistress.
That sounds pretty legit.
It does. I think I'm gonna do that.
Now watch you
But
get the
kind of-
Knife Juggler, though.
That's even better. I watch me get the Pagel, and my plan is ruined. Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So we got the 1/1. We are going to attack. We're gonna Shadow Flame the 1/1 straight away. We attack the Pagel and kill the Jackal. And we're gonna play Zombie Chow to get some board control again. My only fear right now is Tyrion.
Yeah.
We don't have a Siphon Soul yet. We kinda need a Siphon Soul for Tyrion. Okay, it's a good thing we saved it off the, saved our big game hunter for that. Let's see where the bomb goes. That's the dangerous part. So I wanted to trade first here. I want to attack the 1. Okay, yeah, attack that guy first. And then I want to attack that guy. I think I want to attack with the 3/3 first.
All
In
right.
case if it dies.
I mean, the odds are
In
like
case of my guy
25%.
Face.
Ugh.
This is pretty bad because it sets us up to consecration really badly.
It does. It does.
But I don't think we have a choice in the matter. Okay, that's okay because he will consecrate most likely anyway. So we're gonna tap here because we're gonna play Big Hunter and Healbot anyway. We could have saved the Healbot because of consecration, but I really want the health.
Yeah. Because you know, below 50% is not a place you really want to be with this deck.
Exactly. So here's the consecration. And a lower feb. That's interesting. The good part is Paladin has like no burst in the deck, so we're pretty fine from that. So we can only play 1 card this turn anyway, so we can actually tap first. See what we get. Okay, there's a Siphon, so that's pretty good for us. And
Kind of feels like you got to play Syl.
I
And
can
it
play.
sucks.
I don't really want to play Sylvanas right now on like a quite empty board. I want to play when he has something better on the board. I can play Kel'Thuzad,
So many
It's not too bad.
possibilities.
just we won't get much value from it.
Right. Very
You
true.
can also play Healbot. I think we're going to.
I'm just trying to think.
You-
Does Paladin have a 2-card combo that can just destroy you
I
outright?
wonder.
Nah, not
Yeah.
this kind of Paladin. I'm actually aiming towards Kel'Thuzad. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like, I don't want to play heal bot because of True Silver. That just killed the heal bot, and it's hard to deal with the slow up after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got the quality out. That leaves this guy into mortal range coil. Okay, Demon Art. So we want to mortal coil that first to see what we get. And this is the part when we start to turn the table slowly. We're gonna... I think we can implosion actually and play heal bot. Isn't too bad. Because we get the board control back.
Very true.
Or we can play heal bot and Earthring. The thing is that he hasn't used his Quartermaster yet. So playing those two, you might just play another Recruit and Quartermaster.
Mm-hmm.
And I only think this kind of deck runs one Consecration actually. I think I will just use the Implosion that one. Get some imps.
Oh, and boy, do you get some imps.
Oh yeah. So we're 7 cards left in the deck and he's 14. He still has to lay on hands to catch up with us, but that takes a turn to use that. Okay, so he starts trading. It's pretty good for us. Because our winning condition in this matchup is basically your Axis and Sneeds.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cards that wins us the game. Here is one of them. So I'm gonna tap down to 5 cards. We're starting to run pretty low on cards, but he's dying pretty quickly now.
See, this was a scenario I ran into when I was testing this. Like, oh wow, I'm fatiguing myself.
Yeah, you can't tap like too much at the end, especially if you don't have your Axis yet.
Right.
But I realized that he's running out of gas and he has to do something about this board pretty quickly. He can play a lay on hands, but I'm gonna rely on Jiraxis to win us the game. That's my plan. And if he doesn't kill the imps, we can just Demon Heart one of the imps and hit really hard. That is also the point of Demon Heart. It's like a really good DPS. It's like a Blessing of Kings improved.
Oh yeah, it's a Blessing of Kings, and it can do some damage.
Oh, that is so good for him.
Oh.
Especially if he
Hit
has
it.
Consecration now. This can be really good for him if he has a Consecration. Oh!
Oh!
Well, he's dead. It would be really nice if he weren't dead. But too bad. It's gonna be him some. Take the long way. And he's down. So he kinda got the perfect response to what we had, but it didn't really matter.
That is true, but you know what? That was pretty fucking amazing. I'm not even gonna lie.
The King Crush.
The King Crush.
Bomb Lumber into one out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the King Crush with a big amounter.
That RNG, man.
Yeah.
Alright, so get us into another match, and we'll spectate that.
Yeah, sure. So you basically just want to tap as much as possible, as you see, because we had the option to play Mistress early on or tapping, and we choose to tap because we want to outgas our opponent and play a huge Twilight Drake, even if we had Owl for it. We kinda left an empty board by not playing the Mistress, so we could Hellfire the board. Because if we play the Mistress, we'd just Hellfire our own Mistress, and that wouldn't be too good.
No. See, I'm always looking to use the Demon Fire on my Mistress. It's like I want to hold on to that because that's such a powerful combo.
It is a powerful combo, but if you're like in an all-court position and have to use it for something else, you can just do it. Yeah, there's no problem using the Demon Heart for an Implosion Imp, for example. It's like, you can consider it this way: you got the Imp for free by killing a minion, and then you get a minion kill for free, plus you keep a good minion on the board, so he has to use 2 cards at least for 1 card for your Demon Heart. Because he's forced to respond to remove that card, and that usually takes him a whole turn to remove the Imp. So you get so much tempo from it. Okay, here I think I want to move the big amounter and keep the Implosion and Zombie Chows, because Zombie Chows I want early. Oh, this is perfect. Zombie Chows is like, I want them early on. Later on they're not that good. They're just like a curve 1-drop. Okay, so it's a Ramp Druid. That's actually good for us because combo druids is much worse. I'm thinking if I just want to
Well, you could.
point out Zombie Chow here. It's good if he doesn't wild growth, but that's only when it's good.
Right.
I could also Wrath one.
I wonder.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a Q&A section later on. So if you have a question for this big Viking,
no fear. No fear. So the reason why I want that Zombie Chow to be dead pretty soon is because if he plays if I play a Twilight Drake and he silences it with a Keeper, he can just trade it with the Zombie Chow, and I don't really want that to happen. So that's why I'm most likely not going to coin a Twilight Drake next turn, but play Zombie Chow and tap. Now that's interesting.
you're 1 mana shy from being able to clear the board and get man life back.
Yeah, if I even want to do that. I think I'm just gonna tap and play Zombie Chow anyway. Because he's turn 4 play, and Rampantry doesn't have that many turn 4 play. They have Senjins, some play Shredders, and Keepers.
Well, we know
Yes,
which
he's
one
a
this
Shredder
one's
guy.
playing.
He's taking that route. I kinda want to play Twilight Drake here, because even if you silence it, he can't trade it with anything he has on the board. Because I can kill this guy and play Twilight Drake. Because if you silence it, he has to run either Shade or Shredder into it, unless he has Innervate Hero Power, which is how we're gonna lose this game, if we're gonna lose it.
Right. Well, this is a hard matchup for this deck. You stated that from the
It is.
beginning.
Yeah. It's basically because of the combo. The combo is so hard to deal with, because I don't know if he plays combo or not in this deck, and that is just really hard to play around. Because if he, let's say he has 3 minions on the board like right now, his combo is gonna deal on turn 9, how much, like 27 or something? He's saying a number, and we have to play around that all the time, and it's kinda annoying. It's much simpler if you actually know what he plays.
Now, I was
why
going to
it's
ask
really
you, is Shadow Flame an option here?
Shadow Flame is most likely the option here.
Yes, because I'm looking
Because
at
that
this.
Shade is gonna get pretty big eventually.
Yeah, you have to take care of it now.
I think I want to Dark Bomb the Shredder first to see what he actually has behind that.
That makes the most sense. And if it's something like, oh, I don't know, Doomsayer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna do that, because you never know what you get. Shadow Boxer. We're just gonna board clear here. We have flame.
Well, you're not going to get a real board clear, but a 1-2 isn't really much of a board to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. And he has 4 cards left, which is... we have more. And he didn't play Keeper last turn, so I expect him to not have a Keeper. But maybe now he gets
Yeah, I'm about to say,
They always get Keeper if that is your trick. That's like number 1 rule. So we can either play Twilight Drake and Mistress, or tap and play Twilight. Our Twilight Drake is gonna be a 1/7, which is
So
swipe,
many
gear power, and
possibilities.
slime killable. So I think I'm just gonna tap into Twilight Drake, but that's really risky as well, because if he has a silence, we're behind.
Alright. Mind you, it is getting to turn 7, so I mean, Dr. Boom, Ancient of Lore, these are things that could easily come up. Hell, even Ancient of War is making a comeback.
Yeah, exactly. I think I want to tap, because this is the part when we like can't really play around the combo, because we have to just play with our accordingly plan, which is tapping every single turn if we want to keep up with the gas. Because if he plays Ancient of Lore and we don't have enough cards in our hand, they are going to outgas us. And we have a hard time coming back from that. So we're gonna stick to our plan.
Right.
That's pretty sweet. That is actually pretty sweet. I think I want to play Sludge Belcher and Mistress here.
That fits the curve perfectly.
Unless I want the Implosion for 4 on the Drake, which is pretty hard.
Yeah, your odds are not that great.
Yeah, not exactly.
I mean,
I could also play Healbot and Mistress. Both those are like okay options. But I kind of want to play the Sludge Belcher now.
Sludge Belcher
Keep
is
our
a better
Mistress
play.
alive.
I think Sludge is a better play because we've only seen one Innervate, which means he could still possibly pull out an advanced combo.
You can play Black Knight too, because I know Ramp Druid plays Black Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Or like most druids nowadays plays Black Knight.
Well, you kind of have to because Sludge Belcher exists.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking, like, I always think, what's the worst thing that can happen when you play something? Are we dead now?
What to do?
This is Savage Roar and we just die. Or Innervate Swipe. Oh. Yeah. That can happen. Was there even a way we could play around that?
No, there wasn't.
Like, we could play Healbot, I guess, and we'd live, but you can't expect them to have double swipe on anti-air power on that turn, so.
I don't think you could have won either way, because even with Healbot, I mean, the double swipe automatically negates the Healbot. And yeah, he just, ouch.
I think we'll live with 2 health if we'd Healbot, but yeah, it's like if he traded instead and just played a minion, we'd have to do exactly the same play next turn and we'd be just as behind.
Well, you know, that happens. That happens,
Yeah.
you know. And like you said, the weakness of the deck is like Druid and Rogue. And perfect example right there.
Yeah. That
So.
Druid though was like, it's always Innervate that keeps this deck in check, because it's either if they innervate something really big or they do something unexpectedly that you can't really handle.
Yeah. All right.
So.
Well, now we get to that wonderful part of the show where we get to promo our guests. All right. So if you want to check out Darkwonyx, want to follow him, you can check him out at twitter.com/Darkwonyx. You could also follow him on his own Twitch channel, www.twitch.tv/Darkwonyx. All right, so now I told everybody, like, middle of the show, and I think I mentioned at the beginning, there will be a little Q&A session. So if you've got a question for Darkwonyx or myself, whatever, I want to see what we got in the chat now. Sometimes you can't beat good RNG. Is there really such thing as good RNG?
There is, I guess. You can like minimize the RNG if possible, but sometimes you can't, and you just have to live with it.
Right, right. I mean, some of the RNG in this game is kind of ridiculous on a good day. Like, oh, Piloted Shredder. Because, I mean, yeah, you could silence it, but wouldn't you rather use your silence for something like, oh, I don't know, Sneeds or Kel'Thuzad, or, you know, just to kind of break that up? You never want to waste it on a mid-range minion. So you're completely at the whim of this RNG, and it can wreck the hell out of you.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of good if you play on the higher ranks, you usually know exactly what kind of decks they play. Like that Paladin we just faced, I kind of knew exactly about 28 out of his cards, and that really helps you to know what to use your removals for, when to say Big M Hunter, because you know they run Dr. Boom, for example. Because I practiced so much against that Paladin with my some friends, and you know that most players that play Hearthstone are just like copying Reddit deck lists, or like, oh, he got rank 1 ladder or rank 1 on ladder. So most of them will play a good deck. And that's also like when you can see what you face, because if they play like 10 cards that are from that deck, you kind of know what the rest are. You you can expect what they are. So
Oh yeah.
in some cases, like for the paladin, you can actually silence Shredder because they don't have any of a silence target. Okay, Tyrion. Tyrion is the only silence target of the Medant, if you want to save it for.
All right. But if you're like a mech mage and you see Tyrion, you just laugh because, well, you'll kill Tyrion and then freeze him and keep him frozen.
You copy him from your entity. That's what you do.
I've done that. I actually got to take a highlight of that later.
Also, like a pro tip against mech mage, if you really want to counter them hard, just put Doomsayer in the deck. That's how to counter them the biggest, because once they play Mirror Entity or from Mad Scientist, you just pop that Doomsayer and they kill their whole board during their turn.
Oh, it's.
It actually works. So if you want to play Control Warrior, whatever, you just put one Doomsayer in the deck, please. So it will happen. It will happen if you face the mech mage. It's so funny.
All right, let me write this down. Take Harrison Jones up, put in Doomsayer. Got it.
So you can do it like every single deck list. Just that is control. That is, unless you want your own board.
Well, sadly,
Handlock.
well, sadly, you have to tech against whatever's strong in the meta, and let's not lie, Mech Mage is pretty strong in the meta.
Yeah, mech mage. So it's basically Doomsayer, Iron Big Owls, and Mind Control decks that are the free key cards.
Oh, I've been having great success with Mind Control techs against Mech Mage. Ironically, I pulled the Goblin Blast Mage more than anything else.
Oh, well, it's okay.
Oh,
It's a big minion.
yeah, and then they have to trade like 2 of their minions into dealing with it because they don't want to take 5 to the face, even though they've been pretty much smacking me 5 to the face for like 3 rounds.
Yeah,
I don't get it. All right.
that's what they do.
Now, every day when I stream, I get a lot of people asking me, it's like, oh, well, I don't have a lot of money for GVG cards. Is there any decks that don't require GVG cards? Do you think it's possible to actually play this game effectively without any GVG? I mean, I've seen some decks, but are they really effective?
It's kind of hard to tell because, like any card game, you need to adapt according to the meta.
Mm-hmm.
And some cards are just really, really good. So you have to replace them with worse cards. So you can do it, but it's going to be harder, that's for sure. Because right now, almost every single deck list has some GVG cards in it. Because, let's face it, the Shredders are better than Jetty. They just point out better than Yeti. And before, I even have a friend that plays without Naxxramas, and he finds it really hard to put a good 5-drop into the game because he can't put Sludge Belchers. So that's also like really, really a big card, a key card that's like the best 5-drop. And so like you can try to make either budget deck list, or you can maybe Face Hunter still works because most of the cards are non-GVG, like only Glaive Suka.
Yeah, Glaive Suka's like one of the only ones. Maybe the
Clockwork Gnomes maybe as well.
Yeah.
Exactly, but I guess you can replace them with maybe like Leroy, whatever. Like it's possible.
Right.
Like Rocketeers, even if you really want to go face. But yeah, that's like the only, maybe Druid as well. I guess you can play some kind of Ramp Druid.
Yeah,
because I don't know a lot of Ramp Druid cards.
Druid really didn't change all that much. Like, oh, well, now we have Shredders to mess around with. So before they were using, Violet Teacher, now they're using Shredders.
Yeah, Shaman also. You can play Shaman. Yeah. Because I know some deck lists that still runs, like, I know, for example, Blackout and Shaki still try the Double Doom Hammer.
That actually still works. I've seen it work. So
yeah, it can work. And there's like no GVG cards all in it. When I was looking at it, I was like, how crazy can it be? Like bring an old school deck to a new tournament, but it still works, so why not?
All right, so now I'm going to ask you a question here, Priest. I was asked to actually come up with cards because the Mechtorts Workshop show I do, to design stuff for an aggro Priest build, and unfortunately, when looking at everything Priests have and everything that's neutral, it's like, well, Priests have the tools, but it's just they're not as good as other classes. Is this because of the Undertaker nerf, do you think? Because once that got nerfed, the concept of any kind of aggression from Priest really went out the window.
I don't know. I think Priest got buffed
after
that. Yeah, I think so, because Priest's weakness could also be the over-aggression.
That is true.
Let's say they play a like you face a hunter that just you can't deal with the Undertaker, and then you have nothing to do later on. So I think Priest got buffed in that case because usually they will play a more board control deck, or they will play a face deck, and you can counter both of these if you just put in some like extra healing in the deck or just some taunts. And Priest is really good against mid-range decks in general. Like they just take control of the game by just cabals and value cards. So I think Priest actually got buffed. Priest is what I'm laddering with right now.
Well,
That's how I
it's
play.
funny you say that, but in the Battle of the Best tournament, there was absolutely no priest representation. There was very little hunter representation. I think it was like Amaz and two other, or not Amaz, Masan and two other people. I
Oh
actually
yeah,
brought hunter, and that was kind of funny.
I think it's because everyone expected a rogue population or popularization from the Undertaker nerf,
Mm-hmm.
and Priest is like an insta loss against rogues usually because rogues just it's so easy to sap a good target and get board control, and Priest doesn't have a way to deal with 2 minions at a time. Usually, they're really good with clearing the whole board or killing 1 minion. That's what they mostly do. So if they keep playing like Azure Drakes and SI agents and those minions, Priest will have a hard time, especially with the instant burst they can get from the oils and blade flurries.
Although that oil and the blade furies is just so disgusting these days. I've seen that thing get like skyrocketed, and they're like, oh, by the way, here, have a blood mage Thanos.
Yeah, so I think that's why we saw no priests. Also because some like I don't know how good Druid is against Priest right now because I haven't really practiced the matchup that much. But everyone played Druid too, and
Mm-hmm.
I think just the combo Druid can be pretty nice against the Priest.
Yeah, I think you actually have to go combo druid for the most part. The traditional ramp, while still a solid deck, it's you get more out of it with the combo.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, Dark, thank you for being on the show. I always love having you on here, and thank you everybody for tuning in to the first of the live episodes
Yeah, thanks for
because
having me.
I have better internet and I'm going to use it. Anyway, again, don't forget to check out Dark. You could also check out all the stuff that's going to be on the YouTube and down in the description. That's going to be like here somewhere. And all that other fun stuff. So, till next time, this is Shiv saying thank you. May RNG be on your side. Dark?
Yeah, was a nice time talking to you once more, and thanks for watching, guys.
All right. Bye bye.
See ya.